Thank you very much, and it really is a pleasure to be here as part of this event and to highlight the work that was undertaken in the Metricycle EU project, which brought together the metrology community with the e-waste recycling industry, with academia and research institutes to tackle this particular challenge. And ultimately, this is a 3-year project in 3 minutes, so it is quite a whistle-stop tour of the highlights. But first of all, technology critical elements, or TCEs. These are elements which are essential for modern technologies, such as mobile phones and clean energy initiatives. And TCEs are unusual elements. They have unique properties that mean they are difficult to replace. Elements such as indium, gallium, neodymium, as well as precious metals like platinum and gold. They cannot be replaced easily, so we need a sustainable source of these elements in order to maintain our position and to develop new technologies. One way to ensure this is through recycling of e-waste, as annually millions of tons of e-waste are disposed of each year. Therefore, being able to extract TCEs represents a sustainable resource. Furthermore, it also works to support the European Union's circular economy agenda and also the UN Sustainability Development Goals 7 for cost-effective and clean energy, for 11 in terms of sustainable cities and communities, and 12 for responsible consumption and production. So testing my memory here. We focused on 15 elements, so 15 TCEs, and we concentrated on 3 materials as the starting point: printed circuit boards, LEDs, light-emitting diodes, and lithium-ion batteries. Now, we had a number of challenges to overcome, the first being sampling. How do we get from tons to grams? So we worked on sampling strategies to ensure we were getting representative samples. The next challenge was material preparation, and we had to use a variety of machinery, such as shredding, cutting, and milling equipment in order to break down this complicated material. And this resulted in a number of broken instrument parts from this process, as this waste is incredibly difficult to process. However, we were successful in obtaining suitable materials for these 3 samples. We then focused on the analytical part, as the industry needs reliable, validated analytical methods, but there's a lack of these available, plus the lack of reference materials to enable the industry to do this. The partners of the project looked at a multitude of analytical techniques and calibration approaches, which included routine industry techniques, as well as the high accuracy methods that we would use to characterize the reference materials. We learned a lot during this process, and ultimately we were able to put together some guidance documents and share with the industry. And we also highlighted some outstanding issues, such as the use of portable XRF equipment, which is common in industry, so some further work is still required. We organized an interlaboratory comparison with industry partners to test the state of the art and using that guidance. And we were really happy to see that overall, and across the 2 materials that we looked at, the general agreement was within plus or minus 20% of the consensus mean. And we felt this was a really good achievement for the first time and the first sort of type of this study. So in summary, we also looked at the training. We also provided training documentation, guidance documentation, produced tools to support industry with uncertainty calculations, as this is still an area that industry needs support with, as well as, I think, the most key thing we obtained from this project, which is 3 real-life relevant reference materials that will continue to support the industry on this complicated and challenging topic. Thank you.
Very much, excellent. I think we have a question from the CIPM. Victoria.
So, Sarah, thank you to you and the consortium. This was a super interesting poster. Say you guys were funded again for another 3 years. What is the next kind of pressing metrology issue that you'd want to focus on for these technologies or these elements?
Part of the issue with these elements is that they're unusual, so there isn't much research on them. And this kind of then applies into the environment and into bioavailability. So this is kind of one of the other areas to consider. What happens in the environment? What kind of transformations? How mobile are they? Is there any biological activity? But I also think that we also need to consider bigger and things such as end-of-life solar panels, wind turbine motors and electric vehicles. But I think really one of the key things, and I think actually kind of a key theme that's come out from the last few days has been collaboration. And I think more collaboration with material scientists, with physical chemists, with engineers, who are working on these like next generation technology products, and to start that collaboration at an earlier stage to understand what are the future challenges that we might be facing, and to really achieve that sustainability goal number 12 of the responsible production as well as the consumption. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bravo.